Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. We started out Monday with some pretty rank weather around here. Sunday brought in some of that stormy weather from the low that was going across the state of Florida, and the weather man said it was going to rain Sunday and Monday and maybe Tuesday. It did rain Sunday night. Monday, yeah, pretty good, but we still ended up with a good run. Had a lot of cattle come in on Sunday and ended up with about 1,200, I think it was Monday, in spite of the nasty weather. But I tell you, as high as these cattle are selling, a little bit of weather is not going to keep people from coming in and taking advantage of this high market. Tuesday we didn't have quite as many, but we ended up close to 1,100 head. I think it was Tuesday, and prices held up again on Tuesday as well. The slaughter classes, the bulls and cows, look to be about steady, but they sure are selling strong. They might have been a little bit, maybe a little more than steady. They probably could have been $1 or $2 stronger, but we saw those better front end cows bringing in the 160s pretty regular, and several cows bringing over that up in the 170s. And bulls are still in high demand, and they're bringing over $2. Any bull that's good and fat and big is going to bring $2 or more, and that's been the case for a long time now. I just think that this hamburger meat supply is down. I think we've run through a lot of these cows already, and the cow killing inventory, the slaughter rate for cows and bulls is lower, and it's sure high demand for hamburger in the stores and all. So big demand for cows and bulls. Must be a big demand for calves too, because they were quoted $5 to $10 higher this week. We've been looking for that $4 500-pound steer calf, and we almost got him yesterday, but we had a 495-pound calf. I think I remember he stamped 495 and brought 410. So that's more or less a 500-pound calf bringing $4. And these replacement heifers are still just as strong as they've been, maybe even stronger. We're seeing some real good quality calves show up, and that's the time of year that we're in right now. There's a lot of shipping going, and calves are moving and coming in, and we're seeing the front end good quality calves come across that ring, and in groups of them, big Charolais calves, big Angus and Angus cross, Brangus calves, all kinds of really good quality calves, and you just see all those guys bidding on them. Big demand for these Florida calves, and we're seeing a lot of good ones, and I'm sure that might have something to do with the prices being higher, but they're just higher on everything. If you see these little old plain um, roping steers, Mexican steers, or Coriani cross cattle come through here, little 200 and 300 pound calves that you wouldn't think would bring $1.50 or $2. They'll bring $3 or $4 a pound. Saw some of those little 2 weight calves, maybe 250, little roper kind of calves bring $6. Now that's a lot for a little feller, but yeah, it's just a good market, and that meat is still moving in the stores. The retail prices are at record highs, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the movement of this meat. Even though the packers they're not killing near what they used to, and steers are bigger, carcass weights are bigger than they have been, and that's been the case for the last couple of years or three, but carcass weights are still up there at around the 940, 950 level, which is a huge carcass. And those carcasses were, I think they probably topped out right there under $4, around 380, 379 or 80, or right there pretty close to $4. And now we're kind of into the summer doldrums, I guess you could say, as far as the meat prices are. We got to work our way through July and August, and before we get into the Labor Day, back into that grilling season. But I don't think it's going to come down much, because there just seems to be less meat on the shelf, and demand is good, and things are looking good. I did see where corn was up a little bit, and that would be one thing to keep an eye on. The old crop corn levels were down. I think we have exported a lot of grain, and I think that will maybe, depending on what the corn crop is this year, I haven't looked into that, but I think they're expecting a pretty good crop again this year, so that'll keep those corn prices and grain prices down where these cattle will feed at a decent rate. So that's your input costs. You got feed and you got fuel. Seeing where diesel is up again, and we still got these tariff talks out there, and some of these global issues going on that we've got to work through. But even if this market were to take a dip, it's not going to be that drastic because it's at a high level. These 6 weight calves are bringing 330 on the top end, 330, maybe even 340 on the very best steers, weighing 600. Saw a really nice replacement heifer there yesterday that weighed 750, I believe, and she brought over $3 a pound. So it's getting pretty steep on these replacement quality heifers. So the market's good. If you got anything ready to sell, now would be a good time to pull the plug on them. I know the grass is green and grass is growing, and it's not too wet. Conditions are pretty good, so if you want to put some pounds on them, go ahead. But anytime get ready to pull the trigger, it's a good time to sell one. But I think this market's going to be where it is for at least the near future, and we'll keep you posted as what we think is going to be going on. But all in all, right now, everything looks good. We had a couple of calves sold this week. Remember, the 6 and under girls softball team from Okeechobee is headed to the World Series, and Justin Robbins sold a heifer for a fundraiser for those girls, and that heifer brought $4.50 a pound, and she weighed 6 something. I don't remember. But Will Bellamy, Bob Harrington, just to name a couple guys that stepped up and helped out with that. Some of these buyers that come every week that support these kids, we just really appreciate their generosity. They don't even live here, but they do support our kids. And then 2 steers were donated to the 12 under boys champions here in Okeechobee, headed to their World Series. So 2 teams headed to the World Series. We had 2 steers sold for the 12U boys, and those calves brought, I can't remember, they probably brought about $4 a pound too, and they sold really good. So there was a lot of money raised for those kids, and that's what we do here at Okeechobee Livestock Market. That's the country Okeechobee way of giving back to the community. We sell cattle, we turn it into cash, and we help the kids. So we love doing that. We do have some top prices this week. On the calf side, Fabian Vasquez from West Palm Beach topped the calf market with a 145-pound calf that brought $7 a pound, and that calf was bought by Enterprise. And on the slaughter cow side, Whaley Cattle Company from Kenansville, longtime friends, longtime customers, Whaley Cattle Company topped the cow market with a 1,630-pound cow that brought $1.81. That cow was bought by FPL. That's your market report. Thanks for tuning in. Thumbs up. Subscribe to our station. We'll tell you what we think. May be right, could be wrong, but it's what we think. We'll see you next week.